Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm gonna tell you guys the story about why I cannot move half of my face. This is always a hard video for me to film because it's very emotional, so I just apologize like pre-hand if I'm gonna become super emotional. It's like 50-50 whether I become super emotional or not. So just putting it out there that yeah, it's a hard story for me often. As you most likely can already tell, I cannot move half of my face. It's very visible when I move like my lips and when I blink, and like I can only move one eyebrow. And I get questions about this every single day, like all the time, and I have for most of my life. And this is like, it's super difficult for me because it's kind of a really big insecurity, and people point it out so much, which makes me feel even more insecure about it. But I shouldn't be insecure about it because it's just a part of me, but it's kind of hard for me to accept it. It all started when I was 6 years old. I was at home and it was summer. I thought I had been bitten like by a mosquito or some other insect because I had a bump on my neck. So, I went to my parents and they took a look at it and they were like, oh no, that doesn't look like an insect bite. We have to get you to the doctors. And so at the doctors, they couldn't really figure out what was wrong with me. So they just like took a bunch of tests on me and they were like, oh, it might be cancer. But they weren't 100% sure. So they had to go and do a surgery on me, and then they found out that it was in fact cancer and I had something called parotid gland cancer. I had it here on the right side and they had never done the surgery before, so they actually couldn't do it. Which meant that I had to go to the US with my father to get my second surgery, and that is where they also found out that the nerves had also been infected with cancer. So they had to remove the nerves on half of my face in Houston, Texas, and then they took a nerve from my leg and put it into my face, which also has resulted in me having like this big of a scar on my right leg, and I cannot feel anything on my leg also. But it was because then they could use this nerve to help me do some function and some movements on my face. If I hadn't gotten this nerve, I would not even be able to blink and I would not be able to move the right side of my mouth at all. Now it has some movement, but it's not like perfected because the nerve is not made for the face. So yeah, I lived in Houston, Texas with my father for some time. Then we went back to Denmark, which is where I'm from and where my mother and siblings were. And my mom gave birth to my sister. And then we went, all of us, like the whole family, back to the US because I had to get proton therapy because, again, we did not have this treatment at that point in my country. So I had to get the proton therapy in the US. And I actually got this really cool mask there, which is where I had my face inside of this the whole time I got proton therapy. And I remember it hurted so bad when I had to get this one made. And actually, a fun fact, my face still fits in except for the nose part. Anyways, I experienced a lot at this point in my childhood. I was like 6 and it all ended when I was like 8. I experienced a lot of like trauma, I would say, at this point in my childhood. Like, I was in and out of the hospitals, I didn't see my friends and family, I didn't go to school, I had to move to the US, and it was really hard for me. And that was kind of just the beginning of it, because even now that I have beaten cancer and I have been healthy for so long, I still look very sick and I look very different. And I feel like this is kind of the hardest part about having been sick, at least for me. I know everyone has very different stories, and I was very young, and like my mind has erased so much trauma and so many like memories and experiences I had when I was a child, because it like wanted to protect me. So it's also like I don't remember everything from when I was 6 till I was 8. Like I just remember small bits of it. So that's why I feel like it's also not the hardest part was being sick. I feel like the hardest part has been afterwards, when I just have to keep explaining myself to everyone. And it's actually really hard. And it makes me feel like not proud in a sense. And I should be super proud because I beat cancer, but I'm not. And it was really hard growing up looking different and being like ugly because of it. And it's still hard because now that I'm trying to do like social media and like just everywhere I go, people ask me about it. Every time I meet new people, I have to explain myself, and it's kind of hard. It's really hard because then I keep getting reminded I look different. And I feel like nobody talks about nobody talks about what it's like after being sick, that you're not always proud. And it's like people assume that after being sick you should just be like happy that you survived. Like it's like and yeah, I am happy I survived, but it's still hard, you know? It's like I won the battle, but now there's like 20 other battles I have to fight at the same time. And it gets really tiring, and just the thought that I can never escape it, like I always have to explain myself for the rest of my life, and I always have to do checkups, and I always have to go to the hospital. And that's also like that's a privilege that I got to survive, and that I get to get good hospital care. Like I know it's a big privilege, and I'm very thankful for it. But at the same time, it's just I feel like it was so unfair, and nobody ever talks about it. Like I have watched thousands of people's cancer stories to try to find like comfort. And maybe I just watched the like wrong ones, but like they're always just like happy that they survived. But it's like, and I am happy, but it's just annoying because it's so unfair, and I hate this fucking I hate it. I hate cancer. Like, I hate it so much. I hate that every time I have to look in the mirror, it's like I keep getting reminded. Yeah. Anyways, I am healthy now for anybody wondering. This was like a very vague explanation of my cancer story. There's obviously a lot more to it. There's so many different procedures I've had afterwards. I have thankfully not had cancer after, so I'm very happy about that. There's a lot more into it, so this was like kind of just an overall for the people who were wondering, and then a little rant afterwards, because I just need to get it out, you know? If you have any more questions, I would love to do another video, or maybe 10 videos, however many videos you guys would like me to make about this, because it is a part of me and I can never escape it. So, and I want to also just be like a person that if you've ever had cancer, or just like if you look different, that you can look at me and be like, you know, that you can kind of mirror me in a sense. Anyways, that was it, guys. That is my whole story. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching me explain and cry. I love you guys so much. Mwah.